Did you plan to apologize to the family of Alex Pretti?
For what?
For labeling him an assassin with ill intent.
Well, again, I just described to you what I said about Alex Pretti, which is that he's a guy who showed up with ill intent to an ICE protest.
No, but if it's determined that his civil rights were violated by this FBI investigation, will you apologize to that?
So if this hypothetical leads to that hypothetical leads to another hypothetical,
it's a real case.
Will I do a thing? And again, like I said, we're going to let the investigation.
However much you hate JD Vance, you should think about it for a little bit, because I think you should hate him far more. He is a reprehensible little lizard. He is a tiny little cockroach, a pathetic little fake half man. He's so utterly disrespectable. Like, you should have so much more disdain than you already do. And don't worry, as he appears on your screen more, you'll have plenty of opportunities to hate his frickin' guts. So he's speaking there with the Daily Mail's Phillip Nieto, asking some good questions, by the way. And the way that he weasels out of being an actual adult, an actual mature person, an actual man is so gross to a person who's mature, to an actual man. So are you gonna apologize for what? And then he smirks. Yeah, this is a little smirk. You know goddamn well what I don't want to constantly mute myself to go off, so I'll just push forward. But you know what? So if it's found that his civil liberties were violated, well, if a hypothetical and another hypothetical, he gave you one hypothetical actually. It was just the investigation. By the way, you don't need the hypothetical. You said he was an assassin. He wasn't an assassin. Apologize for what you said. That is not a high expectation. That is not a high bar to have for a person in public life. That's not a high bar to have for literally anyone. I expect more of my daughter who's 2.5 years old, that if you say something grotesque, you apologize for it, JD Vance. He wasn't an assassin. There was no reason to believe he was an assassin. You have smeared a good American citizen who died protecting a woman. Apologize now for the grotesque thing that you said. Apologize more later after the investigation, whatever, sure. But apologize now for the grotesque thing that you said, that you won't even acknowledge that you said. Oh, you were puffed up and so happy about yourself to say it at the time. And then, it blew up in your face and you look like a goddamn fascist monster. So now you're running from it. I said he had ill intent or whatever. No, he didn't have ill intent, but that's also not what you said. You said he was an assassin. You pretended he was a terrorist who wanted to murder people. Apologize for that, or earn the scorn that is already being directed towards you. And then to say, as he does at the end, I don't think it's smart to prejudge the investigation. I don't think it's fair to those ICE officers. Yeah, we really need to be fair to the murderers in this case. So don't prejudge the investigation lest you be cruel to the people who shot him 10 times in the back. But he can prejudge the victim and assert with no evidence, with no information, that he's an assassin. And then when he does that, he doesn't even have the good graces to apologize. And I'll remind everyone of a couple of different things. One, he's not just your normal spineless politician. He is a Christian. Oh, he's filled with the love of the Lord. Oh, he loves the Bible. He loves the Old Testament. He loves the New Testament. It's so important to him. Oh, his religious values, until he smears an innocent nurse being gunned down on the street as an assassin. And then there's no Jesus there. There's no commandments affecting his behavior. He doesn't feel like he needs to apologize for that. I'll do what I think I need to do so I don't turn off the fascistic incels I desperately need to vote for me in the 2028 Republican primary for president. That's the only thing directing him. Jesus got nothing to do with it. The Holy Spirit ain't even in the room. He cares about Nick Fuentes 1,000,000 times more than he cares about God or about Mary or the disciples, whatever. He doesn't care about them. He doesn't know them. The fact, by the way, and he's not the only one. Donald Trump also pretends to be a Christian, but generally JD Vance tries a little bit harder. So why don't you act like it? Why don't you act like you've ever heard the Sermon on the Mount? Why don't you act like you're vaguely familiar with Jesus? But of course, he can't do that. And this photo, I'm gonna show you this tweet. I'll read the tweet, but also see the photo. That is who JD Vance is. Asked to do a simple thing, which is apologize for smearing a person based on no information. For what? I'm gonna smear a little bit. And as John says, look at the smug, condescending smirk after he says for what? He's so proud of himself for the performance. Yeah, so proud of himself. And by the way, like, he's been called, I saw in response to this, the most repulsive person in American politics. I think maybe. Like, I know that seems kind of crazy with Elon Musk and with Donald Trump, and they're worse than JD Vance in some ways. But like Donald Trump, I don't think he feels like he buys it more. JD Vance doesn't. JD Vance is acting, and he's acting like a disgusting smear of crap on the bottom of America's shoe. That's what he's at. That's what he chooses to be. He wakes up and he works himself up into being the most disgusting person you're forced to pay attention to. And I can't wait to watch him lose in 2028. And honestly, the only thing that I'm undecided on is I don't know which would be better, to watch him lose the general election or to watch him get beat in the primary. I don't know, but I'm ready for either. In any event, let's jump into one more clip.
I was in the West Wing and somebody sent me where he was talking to Caitlin Collins, who's the CNN anchor. And I have like a decent relationship with Caitlin Collins, which is unusual given that she's from CNN. But the president, she's asking a question. The president says, "Why don't you ever smile?"
Yeah.
And it's actually like so perceptive. Even if you're asking a tough question, even if you take your job very seriously, like why does it always have to be so antagonistic?
Well, I laughed because I saw online everybody was calling him sexist for saying that. And I literally said the same thing about Caitlin Collins a year ago on my show. She never smiles. Every once in a while, you have to smile. Roger Ailes used to tell us that. Every once in a while, you get remember to smile, show the viewers that you have a heart.
Have some fun.
With the cost of everything going up, here at TYT, we're always trying to help you guys out and save you some money. Your cell phone bill is the last place you should be getting ripped off. But if you're with Verizon or AT&T, chances are you're way overpaying for the plan you're on. That's why TYT is teaming up with Noble Mobile, the only cell phone plan that pays you to use your phone less. With their Noble plan, get unlimited data for only $50 a month. But the real game changer is the cash back you get for your unused data. The less data you use, the more cash back you get. It's a win-win. Stop letting big wireless rip you off. Choose a company that aligns with your values and isn't trying to milk you for every last cent. And by switching to Noble, you're directly supporting TYT in our mission of bringing you honest, independent news. So give Noble a try and make the switch today. Scan the QR code on the screen now or visit go.tyt.com/plan. That's go.tyt.com/plan.
Yeah, have some fun, Caitlin Collins. Have some fun as you ask about the fact that we're not getting any justice for the victims of sexual predation. Have some fun. Smile as you talk about the fact that these children who were raped by billionaires are never ever gonna see anything even approaching justice. Why aren't you enjoying this more, Caitlin Collins? Look into the piggy face of the sexual predator who's occupying the Oval Office as an invading force. Look into the face of that sexual abuser. Ask your stupid question about the kids who were raped, but give us a little smile about it. Why aren't you enjoying your job more? And look, Vance is pathetic there. Utterly pathetic with his, he laughs to Megyn Kelly's thing. It's a genuine reaction he had. He's a real person just like you and me. So he's pathetic, he's disgusting, he's grotesque and all that. But let's not give a pass to Megyn Kelly there, who's like, I heard that Donald Trump was being misogynistic, and I just want to assure you, I hate women at least as much as Donald Trump. Please keep listening to my podcast. Yeah, Caitlin Collins, smile more. I, as a woman, love when men tell us to do that. Please keep giving me your money. Don't listen to someone else. Please don't. I hate women. They suck. They should all be caged. I don't care. Say, you can put me in a cage as long as I have my microphone. And as long as you'll give me money, I'll be in whatever cage you want. That's Megyn Kelly. By the way, she ends that saying, that's what I was told by Roger Ailes. You gotta smile. Roger Ailes was accused of sexual harassment by literally dozens of women at Fox News. And by the way, I can't necessarily speak for Megyn Kelly, but there is no way he didn't sexually harass her too. And that's who she's like, yeah, learn from the sexual harasser. That's the defense that she lodges. And I'll remind everyone, by the way, Megyn Kelly was the person who not so long ago was like, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't a pedophile. He was only raping 15-year-olds who looked younger. He didn't rape an 8-year-old or whatever. And I, Megyn Kelly, don't think there's anything wrong or suspicious nor should be illegal about raping a 15-year-old. In fact, I will use my time on air to defend the elites who are raping kids, because there are technically younger kids, so is it really a big deal? That is Megyn Kelly. And again, like with Vance, however much you hate her, you don't hate her nearly enough. She works overtime to earn your scorn. Don't be stingy with it. Ladle it out on top of her.